Hey, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by, checking out my YouTube page, checking out my YouTube channel. My name is Rick. I'm also known as Rick's 2 Cents. If you're not new to my channel, thanks for coming back for another video. So, you're here because you're probably wondering, Rick, what's been going on with the V35? So, I kind of did a spoiler alert on this V35, letting know everyone that had it. To my knowledge, I was the first one to ever receive it back in December, or early December. So people ask me, Rick, why are you holding off? Why haven't you connected it? Why haven't you made any videos? What's going on? I did a kind of spoiler alert and said I had it. And then you know what? I see a ton of people are now having it. It's become more and more common. So I guess I could have been the first to put out a video and say, here it is. And at some point when people were asking me if I had it, some people were in disbelief. So I finally did a video in December and said, here it is. So why haven't I made a video and why haven't I connected it? If you watch any of my previous Atezr videos, I have a P5, right? So I was looking to get the extended rails and then to install this on the P5, install this, but I didn't want to actually wire it all up, get it all connected, change out the harness, get it all connected, and then get the extended rails, and then rewire everything, do everything all over. You know, I just kind of wanted to do it all at once, but it's been killing me. Spoiler alert, I also have the, let me just grab it. Boom. I have this as well as the other one. I just haven't done the videos because, like I said, I was trying to get the harnesses all done. And I wanted to, you know, kind of do like an unveiling of, you know, this one. And there's 3 of these. So I have all of them. So I wanted to kind of do an unveiling and show, you know, differences, start making some tumblers, do some things. So I was waiting for the extended rail. Now, I know a lot of people are getting them, and maybe I'm like, I've waited so long and now I'm, I'm giving up, and it'll show up 2 days later. And I hope that is the case, by the way. But I'm done waiting. I can't wait any longer. I've had this thing sitting for 3 months, and I really want to see what it's worth, what it can do. And especially with the, especially with that rotary arm, that's a game changer because, you know, it's sitting flat and that other spin thing. A lot of people have those. The problem is a lot of these tumblers are not evenly shaped, so it causes all kinds of problems. And being able to put the rotary in there and open it up, that's just a game changer. Sublimation tumblers are kind of just like, I'm not saying that they're not cool. A lot of people can make them, but I just think that it's easier. No, let me take that back. The equipment that you would need to do a sublimation tumbler is a lot cheaper, so I just think it's more common. The equipment to do a laser engraved with the type of rotary tool that I just showed you with this type of laser is not as common because the expense is a lot higher. So yeah, so you've been seeing a lot of different laser videos on my channel so far. I've been pleased with Atezr, the way, you know, the equipment works, everything is. Haven't had any real major issues other than just sometimes you gotta wait for shipping. And I know everyone's been crying on Facebook, everyone's been crying on YouTube, and trust me, everybody wants it, including myself. So like I said, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. A couple people call me out on Facebook, and that's why I did this you know, this spoiler alert saying, hey, I had it, and then, you know, just showing you that I had that. So that'll be a separate video, and I didn't mean to sidebar this video, but I'm gonna take the P5, throw it on the bench, and Frankenstein it apart, and put this inside of it. I really wanted the P5 to be separate and the V35 to be separate and be able to do different projects, because just because you have a 35 watt and a 5 watt doesn't mean that the 5 watt laser is no longer valid, no longer you know, something that could be a value in your shop. I think it could do a ton of things. I was super impressed. If you saw any of the videos I did on the P5, I think it did great. So I was able to help with people, anyone who reached out to me that had the V35, the extended rails, even though I didn't have it, you know, kind of go through the wiring schematics and help in any way that I could. I'm always willing to help. It's obviously easier if I have it. So yeah, definitely made some good friends. You know, my Alaskan homeboy Shout out to him. I don't know if he'd want me to mention his name, but met a good friend because of Atezr, and we talk almost daily now. So yeah, so here we go. Pause the video real quick, flip the camera around, let you see the P5, and then here we go. It's gonna be like going real fast as I disassemble it and put this guy on it. So first thing I'm gonna try on this, and you're gonna say, Rick, the V35s, everyone's doing these wood cutting. I want to cut a piece of wood. Bruh. It's a 35 watt laser. We know it's gonna cut a piece of wood. I want to make some badass stuff. Excuse my French. Wait till you see what I have to show you what I'm gonna make. What I want to do is I'm gonna start making these videos. What is practical? I'm not showing off that I can make something. I want to say what's something I can make money doing. What is something that I can create and duplicate and replicate over and over and over and over and over again with the same exact consistency and with profitability. Without further ado, let's get this V35 cooking. Be right back. I gotta say, this almost calls for a song. Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. P5, you've been good to me. Pour a little dust out for the homies. Just thought that'd be funny. I've been thinking about that all week to say. Even left that dust in there just so you know, because I'm a neat freak, if you don't know me by now. Alright, let's just see how this, just for size. That's crazy. It looks massive in there. It looks massive. It definitely looks impressive. So, yeah. One thing that happened to me is the little port that sticks up out of here that the air assist sits on top of. Mine broke off. So I've seen quite a few guys now that are into the 3D laser printing. They've been removing this top and they've been installing a new one that's better. I think because they're having problems with that as well. I might ask one of them to make me one. But for now, when I stick the air system, I'm just going to hit it with a little hot glue. That's fine. But yeah, so let's get this bad boy taken apart. I'm going to go grab the box real quick and with the harness. I wish this thing could just plug in, to be honest with you. Yeah, so the reason you have to actually swap this out is because the P5 is a 4-pin and the V35 is a 5-pin. So I'm gonna get some wire cutters, some snips, so I can cut some of these zip ties off that I zip tied these all real nicely, and screwdriver. I think I may need Allen key as well to get this open. I gotta remove this. So here we go. All right, here's everything that came with it. Power supply, big old brick, and a harness, and a giant hunk of acrylic. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, that's all that came with it. And the manual, I believe, is over there on my desk. I'll grab it because I was reading it before. Okay, so I want to show something really quick. Let me grab my flashlight. Sometimes it wigs up. Okay, it did not. So you're going to see on this, in the manual, this is for the P5 now, keep in mind. P5 in the manual right here. Ah! Hold on. Sorry, so the P5 on the manual, what you're going to see here is you're going to see a 12 volt on the right and a 5 volt on the left. Now, the stock P5 wiring harness, the 12 volt, which is the on-off switch, this on-off switch right here, is plugged into the 12 volt. Now, what I did is I took this here because in the diagram it actually shows it dead center. It doesn't show it on if it's in the 12 volt or 5 volt. And this switch was already plugged into the 12 volt. So then what I did is I took the wire that was originally plugged into the 12 volt, which is coming from the switch, plugged it into the 5 volt on the to the left on the bottom, and then the 12 volt that's coming from this new harness, plugged it into the 12 volt on top, and it works. So I say it works, at least turns it on, and it, you know, everything seems to be working. But I'm going to still leave this hanging out, and then test it, install it. Right, I'm gonna make some corrections on some of these drawings, and at the end of this video I will show it, so you can always pause it and rewind it. But that's how it's wired. Everything else in this manual is accurate and to the T. The only thing that was in question, or it's not mentioned at all, is this 12 volt and 5 volt. So again, just say it. The 12 volt on top is the 12 volt. It's coming from your harness. The 5 volt on bottom is coming from this switch, which was originally plugged into the 12 volt. So here we go. Moment we've all been waiting for, especially myself. Thank you, God. But I was able to get through this. So whether you have a P5, a P10, a P20, you're upgrading to a V35, you can follow along. This is an upgrade video. There'll be a ton of videos on the V35 itself. But if you saw the P5 setup, the frame is the same. So if you're wondering, hey Rick, you kind of skipped some steps here. This is not a V35 video from scratch. This is a V35 upgrade video. So if you want installation directions or a tutorial on putting the framing together, it's the same. It doesn't matter what you're using. So there will be a link in the description below. You can watch my P5 video putting this together. If you have an existing piece of equipment and you're upgrading it to a V35 or a bigger lens or a bigger head, you can follow along just the same. I will say that I think these harnesses are handmade, and the original harness that was for the P5 versus the V35, I think it was the V35 is about a ½ inch shorter, and it may not seem like much, but it is. Right? So I'll get the camera turned around and I'll show you how I did some cable maintenance on this, and I really did some playing with it to see, you know, how can I place that cable so that when it goes this way and it goes that way, when it goes this way and it goes that way, that I don't have any binding, I get my full reach. I've also heard people say that, you know, hey, my laser isn't working correctly, or my laser isn't working right, and what it is because their head's becoming unplugged, and that's because maybe the half team's too tight, and as it pulls out, it keeps slowly working its way out, and lo and behold, they plug it in all the way, and everything works great. But you also don't want to be unplugging and plugging things when the power's on, so that's just another thing to keep in mind. Cable management is huge. Just take your time, and I'll show that in a second. But if you're following along this direction, this is the Atezr installation instructions for the V35 laser. The only thing that I did mention is in the wired instructions here, be very careful, because I wouldn't say it's misleading, but if you don't pay it, it's hard to see the way they drew the line over the top of the board. So earlier in the video, I did show a revision that shows it a little bit differently. So you can either go back to that second and pause it, or you can screenshot it, or whatever you want to do. If you receive this installation instructions, and you're like, hey Rick, where did you get the picture that you're showing? So yeah, so I'll leave that in I'll probably make it so you can download it, or I'll put a link in the description to the manufacturers if they haven't uploaded by then. But at any rate, in the description below, they'll have some way, shape, or form. If you don't want to just pause it, or if you'd rather just print it out. If you're that type of person, you want to print it out and go along with it. I'm that type of person. You know, you can do so as well. But here we go. Let's turn it on. That's a sweet sound. I've been waiting since December, people. Since December. What is this? What month are we in? April? May. Yeah, and like I said, partially it was my doings, because, you know, I just wanted to be able to do it all at once. Earlier in the video, I mentioned that, you know, I received the harness, you know, the 4 to 5 pin harness, and I was waiting on that. And in waiting, I was hoping that I would soon receive the extension, and so I wouldn't have to put this together and then take it all apart and put it together on the extension. And guess what happened? That's exactly what happened. So at any rate, I don't want to see. We'll do that in a separate video. So if you want to see how to upgrade the harness again to the longer extended version, I already took a look at the harness. It looks identical, just longer, right? So yeah, so I'm gonna just take these screws, put it on, get it back on the bench over there, open LightBurn, just do a test burn and see. Okay, all these Atezr V35 videos, all I see is people doing is cutting a 2x4. The next person that I see cut a 2x4 with a V35, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do my homework, and I'm gonna find all your contact information, and I'm gonna submit it to every single timeshare company that I can find. And I got some beachfront property for sale in Arizona if you're interested in that too. Come on, people. You don't buy a V35 to cut 2x4s. You want to watch one of my DeWalt's videos on a circular saw, a chop saw, a table saw? I get it. You buy a V35 because the things you can make with it, and the speed that you're going to be able to cut at. I'm not impressed with anyone cutting a 2x4. So I'm calling you out to say, guys who've already beat me to the punch and made a V35 video, make an actual real video, something you can do, something you can make with it, something that will make somebody money, that's going to make them want to buy this thing because they think like this could be a valuable source of income to my family, an additional source of income to my existing woodworking business, whatever it may be. So I'll challenge myself. I have a ton of things that I already have lined up for this. I've had my time to do my, my homework, and I've had my time while this wasn't ready for all my supplies to show up. So be ready for back-to-back V35 videos. You're gonna see so many V35 videos. Trust me, I'm making up for the time that I was down. So yeah, so give me a minute. Let me grab this camera. Let me show you what I did on this cable management, and then let me clean up my workbench. Throw these screws on. Let's get it on LightBurn. Time's sake, like I said, this is just an upgrade video, a tutorial, so to speak. But there will be a ton of V35 videos coming up of all different types of things that you can make with this to be productive, to make money. If you are a hobbyist, you just got some extra coin, you're able to do that, man, God bless you, congratulations. If you're someone like me who's trying to buy something like this to make some extra money for their family, then keep watching this. All right, take a look really quick here. So I put the little clamps that they come with it, one here right at the beginning, right? And that catches that wire that comes around and keeps it taut, right? And then halfway, I got it. But notice that it's only on one. It's not on the other one. You're gonna see why in a second. And I have one down here, and I have one down here. And those are for the power supply and the USB cables and all that are ran. This is not for this. Okay. Now, okay, pay attention to this. This cable that plugs into the board here, right? Sorry. Goes into the board here. It comes up. Notice there's not a whole lot of slack. It's not super taut. Like I'm not I'm not going to start loosening the soldering on these pins or this board or anything, but it's taut, right? And then it comes up. Okay, so they have a tape mark that they wrapped on this, and I'm assuming they did that because they didn't want this to, from moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, to start rubbing on this and maybe possibly either catch this, right? Catch this or start to tear it. So right where that tape ended is right where mine began. So going into here, and I put it on top. Okay, now I did a little trick with the zip tie. I put one zip tie going around this way, and that actually holds nothing. But then I put another zip tie going this way, and that holds it on there. So that holds this from moving. Now, it's not, you know what I mean? But I can still move my hand, but it's tight enough. Now, so let me show you this. Let's see how it still can kind of hangs out the front there, but it's keeping that from going anywhere. So now let me just pull this. Let me move this. I'm going to set this down. Let me kill this power. Just unplug this. I don't want to be manually moving it while it's powered on. Power going to the motors. So take a look. So I can go all the way back towards me. And notice how it's just starting to kind of coil up itself. That's all the way. See how it's coiled up? It's out of the way. It's not going to hit anything. Right? It's coiled up. Go all the way back out. From all the way. Alright, now pay attention over here. Okay? So this never really moves. This is kind of like standard. But what you'll see is here. So if I would have went over to this one, you're going to see that I can't make it all the way back. I wouldn't make it all the way back. So we'll see how that goes all the way. I'm all the way at the end. It's pretty much completely straight. See that? Now look. So I went around and around and around and around, trying to figure out different ways. And I've seen a ton of videos, and you see their harness, and it looks horrible. Honestly, I haven't seen anyone, and I'm bragging about myself, but I haven't seen anyone with the cable management done this well. So I would suggest you follow my lead. If you got a better way, let me know, but I've yet to see it. So again, look at that. All the way. All the way. All the way. All the way. All right. So, yeah. There you go. Yeah, I just wanted to show something before I put this on the bench. This small little thin cable here that goes to the Wi-Fi antenna that no one uses. If by chance you knock it off the little tiny gold, and I'll zoom in on this connector in there, do not freak out. Take a small screwdriver, line up to this, and push it right down. It doesn't screw on. It's like one of those. It does have threads on it, but it'll open up and then lock in when you're pushing it down. It's like a push connector. So don't get freaked out if that pops off and you're trying to screw it on, you can't get it, and the cable's too long, you're binding it up. Just take a precision screwdriver, a small, flathead, and once you set it on there, just push it down, and you'll feel it like boop, click on, and you'll be fine. So I just wanted to add that real quick because it happened to me. It actually fell off. And I thought it was screwed on, and I thought I ruined it, and it just was a push on, so it was not a big deal at all. So just in case you did that yourself. All right, let's get this hooked up to LightBurn. All right, we're back at my workbench here. We got it set up. I think it looks pretty good. I left some space here, if you notice, because I figured when I put the extension, it's going to go this way. I might end up doing some enclosures at that point. There's some junk under here right now, but I also thought maybe at some point put in some shelves, because as you start adding accessories, and it'd just be nice to have them put away. I took a quick zip tie right here to hold that in place because, like as I said before, that did break off. I think I might throw a little shot of hot glue just to hold it in place, but that little zip tie seems to be doing the job. So yeah, I'm excited to get this thing burning and see what I can make. So let's just make sure that it is recognized in LightBurn and everything is working as is, and then I will call this a successful upgrade. There we go. Let's grab the laptop. She homed. Atezr V35. Notice it says that there. To grab a piece of scrap wood, and we'll just carve something in there quickly. Now, if anyone's looking at this, you see this grid I have in here. What I did is I created a grid in LightBurn, right? And I have a video that you can watch. I'll put in the description, and then I'll open that same grid in LightBurn, and guess what? Wherever I put that image, it's a mirror image of this, and I just tell it, don't cut this. So this is a really good thing to have. You don't need a camera or something fancy to line it up. You can literally line it up anywhere you want on this piece of wood that you made the grid pattern. And then the file's not open yet, but then you know, take the same image and put it in there, and you know, open it up. I want you to actually see how it works. So here we go. Let's turn on the air assist.
Quite a good scene, isn't it? One man crazy, very sane spectators. It's moving. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's moving. It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
Single path, let's do it again. And remember, this is line. This isn't fill. But I just want to show how fast it's actually doing this. And the results is insane. Again, you can always send something over and over and over again as long as you don't move that board. Now, if I was to do fill, it would just make a complete hole, literally. But I'm just doing this, and it's just doing the outline. And as you saw when I did fill on the other one, if I'd have done anything like this, it went straight through that board and literally started my board on fire. Well, it would have started to make it. Just made some markings. Look how fast it's done that. Insane. Alright. Shut this off. Pull this out the way. Turn the air assist off so it's not as loud. Look at that. Let me grab the slide. That thing is awesome. Well, here's a finished product. I think it looks awesome. Very cool. like I said, be prepared for a whole lot of videos of different items. I didn't think this would do it justice if I just use a scrap piece of wood. So thanks for watching. God bless. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want me to show anything on the V35, if there's anything you want me to show in the software, anything I didn't cover on the hardware, any questions you're having doing the wiring, let me know. Any project you think I should do, let me know. I have a lot of ideas cooking. That's all I should say. So be prepared for a ton of V35 videos. Like I said, you're gonna be like, another one, Rick, another one. It's gonna be V35, V35, V35. Atezr, I think you nailed it. I think you did a phenomenal job. This thing is a beast. So there was a little bit of wait, and sometimes I may have been impatient, but at the end of the day, I think it was well worth the wait. That quality is phenomenal, and I'm super happy with it. On the fill, literally halfway through, and this is line. It's a big difference if you know anything about LightBurn, but super happy. So just be on the lookout for a ton of videos. And like I said, if something you want me to cover, something I didn't cover, something went too fast, I tried to keep this video to a minimum. And like I said, this is just an upgrade video. So if you have a P5, P10, a P20, and you're upgrading to a V35, you should basically just follow the same exact procedures. If you are building a V35 and you're like, hey Rick, you didn't show the frame or any of that work, then in the link in the description below, just click on the P5 because all frames are the same. Also, I do have the extender rails now, so I'll be making a video shortly on the extender rails, installing them. I also do have the enclosed smoke. What is it called? The enclosure. You'll see a little point right here. The enclosure, I have that. And I have all the different accessories that Atezr offers. So one by one, you're going to start seeing all these videos. So if there's one you'd like to see or one you're wanting to see and you'd like me to put that out first, or there's a priority, let me know. But every single thing that you do see on the Atezr website, I have. So you will slowly see videos starting to populate. So thanks again. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. God bless. Bye.